Welcome to Hero Villains. If Ultron wins in Age of Ultron and faces Thanos for the Mind Stone, who will win? If Ultron defeats the Avengers, this will significantly affect the situation, especially the number of Infinity Stones that Thanos has in the Infinity Gauntlet. In fact, Ultron's victory will lead to a change in the location of the Infinity Stones, as well as the power that each side possesses. Therefore, to determine who wins in this situation, it is necessary to clarify which side holds the stones. Before we dive into the analysis, please click the subscribe button, please remember to turn on notifications, and click the bell icon. Thank you very much. The first thing to note is that Vision is dead. Ultron will take the Mind Stone from his forehead and integrate it into his own body, turning Ultron into a version of Vision but with Ultron's mind. Thor is also dead, which means he can't begin his quest for the Infinity Stones. This means the second half of Thor Ragnarok never happens, since the Hulk is dead. So Thor can't take Surtur's head, and Surtur can't be used to defeat Hela. As for Hela, she takes over Asgard and easily defeats Loki, who is helpless against her overwhelming power. The Space Stone remains locked in Asgard's vault, guarded by Hela and her army of undead, who grow stronger as she takes control of Asgard. When Thanos comes to Asgard, because he needs all 6 Infinity Stones, Hela will definitely be a big obstacle for him. Ant-Man may still be around, but in the roles of Hank Pym and Hope, and possibly the Wasp. However, Hank is no longer able to do much due to his advanced age, and probably only uses the suit to hide from the Ultron army that has invaded Earth. However, neither of them can make any significant impact, if any, in fighting Ultron. Meanwhile, the Guardians of the Galaxy are not affected by Thanos. The reason is that Thor has never met the Guardians, so they have no idea about Thanos' plans. Without information, Thanos also does not know how to collect the Soul Stone. Even if he did know, he would not be able to approach Gamora easily because the Space Stone is guarded by a being that can match him. However, he can still collect the Power Stone and Reality Stone because both are easily within his reach. Back on Earth, Wakanda is still isolated because T'Chaka is still alive without Zemo's intervention to trap Bucky. This means that Wakanda is not yet open to the outside world. However, with Ultron's access to the internet, it is very possible that he already knows or soon discovered the true existence of Wakanda and invaded. In fact, Ultron could have taken over Wakanda without much difficulty thanks to his possession of an Infinity Stone and a powerful Ultron army at that time. Once he controls Wakanda, he can take advantage of the Vibranium to produce more Ultrons with Vibranium, thereby strengthening his protection system over Earth. When Ultron discovers that there is another artifact with the same power as his, he will want it to protect Earth. The ensuing battle will probably be the most balanced fight in the MCU so far. That battle could really go either way, since they both have an Infinity Stone, Mind vs Time. Ultron has the numbers, the Ancient One has the abilities. Honestly, if the Ancient One traps Ultron in the mirror dimension, Ultron is done for. Let's just say Ultron somehow figures out a way to win so he can fight Thanos. Like I said, Thanos doesn't know and doesn't have the Soul Stone. He can still destroy Xandar, so he has the Power Stone with him. He also has the Reality Stone, because the Collector isn't that hard to kill. He doesn't have the Space Stone because it's with Hela. The rest of us are on Earth, so he's out of luck there. The Space Stone seems like a good idea because he can easily teleport with it. But Earth has 2 Infinity Stones, and considering he probably needs as much power as possible to defeat Hela, he can get to Earth easily. Since I don't know who Thanos will choose first, or if he'll try to get both at once, this answer will be split into 3 scenarios that change how many Infinity Stones Thanos ends up with in the end. So that's pretty interesting. Thanos lands on Earth and finds it almost devoid of human life, replaced by an AI with thousands of robots that have what he wants on their forehead. Thanos could turn Ultron into ribbons, the Reality Stone, and just one-punch them with the Power Stone, but Ultron probably knows this since he has the Mind Stone and is already extremely smart and goes back in time with the Time Stone and continues the fight. Theoretically, it could last a long time, and I don't know how a fight between 2 people with 2 Infinity Stones would go. The Black Order might defeat some Ultrons, but once Ultron himself gets there, they're all done for. Remember, the original Vision was injured because he let his guard down. Ultron never does that in a fight like this. If Ultron wins, then Thanos' plans will be thwarted. Hela will eventually confront Ultron in an attempt to take over the 9 realms, but that's another story. If Thanos wins, then having 4 Infinity Stones makes it easy for him to destroy Asgard. With time, mind, power, and reality on his side, I don't think Hela stands much of a chance. Once he gets the Space Stone, his quest for the Soul Stone becomes much easier. Thanos goes to Asgard and thus faces Hela, who should be much stronger now than she was in Ragnarok because she had more time on the throne, and thus Asgard made her even more powerful. She also has her entire army at her disposal. Thanos has the Outriders and the Black Order, as well as the Power and Reality Stones. The problem is that Thanos doesn't like to use more than he needs to because he considers himself a hero, so he won't use his full power right from the start. But on the other hand, Hela does have her full power, and her full power is legendary. She could certainly kill all of the Outriders by herself, even the entire Black Order. Thanos is her only problem. Since Hela can kill so quickly and efficiently, before Thanos even considers using more power than normal, Hela could have killed a huge portion of his army, and possibly even a few members of the Black Order, if not all of them. In short, Thanos could potentially lose more than half of his army before he decides to intervene and get serious. With the Power Stone and Reality Stone in his possession, Thanos could simply turn Hela into something harmless, like a bubble, and then wipe them out with the Power Stone. He certainly wouldn't let Hela live, as she directly threatens his life and hinders his plans, unlike the Avengers, whom he respects for their tenacity. Indicating that the final threat is a young Hera who passed her out, and indicating that he will likely make a mistake that unleashes his body in Terra Strike in all of New York 18, summer of 2023. Which is why we're moving away from the character of Dr. Boyer and moving towards a character of Jimmy Savage. After defeating Hela, Thanos could easily retrieve the Tesseract from Asgard's vault. Then he could continue on to Earth. If his entire army is destroyed, Thanos would likely arrive alone with the Space Stone in hand. At this point, Thanos, with the Space Stone, Reality Stone, and Power Stone, would have to face the entire Ultron army and Ultron himself, who possesses the Mind Stone and Time Stone. Despite the numerical disadvantage, Thanos still has a significant advantage with the addition of an Infinity Stone. I think Thanos has the upper hand in this battle. Although he faces an entire army and can be injured by Hela, possessing the Space Stone gives him a strategic advantage. With the combination of the Power Stone and Reality Stone, Thanos can launch large-scale attacks against the entire Ultron army from a distance. Theoretically, Thanos could win if he used the Infinity Stones to their full potential. However, it is worth considering the enormous strain that would be placed on his body by using such high-intensity energy in such a short period of time. Ultron is an intelligent being whose original goal was to destroy humanity in order to preserve life. Therefore, it is possible that he would agree with Thanos' plan to kill half of all life to preserve the rest, but it is also possible that he would not. Honestly, I don't remember Ultron's ideals well enough in Age of Ultron to say whether they align with the Mad Titan's views. Either way, the outcome remains the same. Thanos is too powerful and will eventually possess the Time Stone and the Mind Stone. With the power of these two stones, Thanos is fully capable of destroying Ultron regardless of whether Ultron agrees with him or not. Especially when the Mind Stone, which is directly connected to Ultron's body, falls into Thanos' hand. Subscribe to the channel, it will help us a lot, and moreover, you will get to watch great videos every day. You are the best. Thank you very much. Now, all Thanos needs to do is locate the Soul Stone. With the Space Stone in hand, he can easily find out that Gamora knows the location of the stone, teleport to her, sacrifice her to get the Soul Stone, and perform the snap. The result is that half of all life in the universe is wiped out. With the Avengers eliminated and the Guardians too weak to fight back, it seems that nothing can stop his plans in the future. Also at the bottom of the script is a passage directed from the late Robert Greene, which needed to highlight the scenes and organizational turmoil at the time. This is the dialogue between Gammon and the Guardians, defining the line between urgency and passion. However, maybe there is still hope. If Ant-Man is alive and Nick Fury somehow escapes while Ultron wreaks havoc on Earth, he can activate the pager to contact Captain Marvel, opening up an opportunity to strike back. Only this time, Thanos is much more injured. If Ultron sees Thanos as an immediate threat, which he probably will since he realizes that the Mad Titan also has the Infinity Stones, he can kill Thanos on the spot, since the Mad Titan isn't strong enough to use the full power of the Infinity Stones he has, and since Thanos can be restrained, like in Infinity War, by all of Ultron, Ultron can kill him and take the remaining 3 Infinity Stones for himself. So the battle on Earth would likely go in Ultron's favor since his robots and Infinity Stones are all focused on one person, while the battle on Asgard would be a massacre that favors Hela. Thanos only knows where the Infinity Stones are since he's shown to get to each location with relative ease. Obviously the Guardians don't have one, and Thanos simply doesn't know where the Guardians are at any given time, and wouldn't bother wasting resources trying to find them when he could just grab an Infinity Stone and teleport to them, which would make getting the final Soul Stone much easier. Also, Nebula's attempt to assassinate Thanos most likely happened a little before Infinity War, which would be in 2018. Ultron happened in 2015, Doctor Strange happened in 2016, etc. So a lot of this happened before Thanos knew about the Soul Stone's potential location. So even if he learned from Nebula that Gamora knew, he still couldn't get to her fast enough without the Space Stone, or set a trap for her. The Guardians didn't know about Thanos' plan, except Gamora, but she didn't know when he was going to execute his plan, so they couldn't have fallen for it in the first place. He would go wherever he knew where the stones were, and the 2 closest places were Asgard and Earth. He would have to wait until later to get the Soul Stone. If Ultron decided to attack, it would be possible, but he is not the type to rush in and shoot without thinking. As an AI that controls the entire internet, Ultron is very smart and will bide his time. He can create a massive amount of robots, far beyond what was seen in Age of Ultron, possibly in the millions. When he feels he has enough, Ultron will attack and use overwhelming numbers to overcome Wakanda's defenses. Furthermore, leading that army will be Vision, but with a more genocidal mindset, and if Ultron had killed the Ancient One before attacking Wakanda, he will have 2 more Infinity Stones. Since Ultron has taken over Earth, the Ancient One's fate will also change significantly. She will no longer die by slowing time to aid Strange, because Strange does not exist. So she could focus all her energy on confronting Caecilius and potentially win against him. I don't think those 2 would go down that easily. The Ancient One could undo the damage done to the sanctuaries with the Time Stone, and Wakanda has a permanent shield around them that has protected them from most things for thousands of years at this point, so I don't think they'd die from an impact that didn't even hit their continent. Plus, I'm a little skeptical that Sokovia would be enough to wipe out all life on Earth. It couldn't be much bigger, or even as big than the KT impact that killed the dinosaurs. And even if that asteroid didn't kill them all in one hit, it would take another few 100,000 years for the dinosaurs to run out of food and die. Plus, that asteroid has the advantage of being in space and traveling at about 34 kilometers per second. It would be even faster when it hits Earth. Ultron just dropped one from twice the height of the clouds, not too high because everyone in Sokovia can still breathe, so I doubt it could actually destroy the Earth in one hit. Thanos comes to Earth and sees it being overrun by robots, so he nukes them, because there's no reason not to kill people because there probably aren't many left. Also, if you want to make it more interesting, drop his army to keep Ultron's robots busy while he goes after Ultron himself. Thanos will definitely destroy Ultron, and the only proof he needs is that when Thanos took the Mind Stone from Vision, he destroyed the Vibranium. And if Ultron had an upgraded body, if he had the other body, winning would be even easier. Ultron is usually smarter, probably more durable, and can become an extremely skilled fighter in seconds. However, I still give this to Thanos for his years of strategic dominance, weapons that can cut vibranium, and elite fighting skills and reaction time. I hope you enjoyed this fight. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. Follow me if you like. That's it for today's video. Thank you very much.